We have a culture that as early as our boys' earliest years is telling them, don't be aggressive, don't be masculine, don't be boys. And then as they get older, that same culture tells them, it's bad to be a man. By being a man, you make the world a worse place. That you're responsible for everything from systemic racism to climate change. That's the message men get sent. And it's relentless. And I think that we've got to send a different message, the true message, which is that God created men for a great purpose. We need good, strong men.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cameron, and thank you for joining us for a special digital exclusive with United States Senator Josh Hawley. I want to really dive into your book, Manhood, the Masculine Virtues That America Needs. And I am so impressed with the way that you have stayed so rooted in your faith. I know it gives you your perspective, your confidence. How do you stay so clear-minded and so strong in a world of politics?
Well, here's the best that I know to do, Kirk, and that is just to continuously look at the Lord. And the way I just do that practically in my own life is I try to spend time in the Word and prayer every day. And for me, I got to do that when I first get up. And if I don't do it first thing in the morning, I lose control of my day. I've got 3 little kids at home, and our household is many things. Quiet is not one of them. So I got to do it first thing. I get out of bed and I sit down with my Bible and I read it and I pray. And for me, that is my anchor, and that's where I go to in times of trial. Let's go where I go to in times of peace and joy, and it's my daily routine, and it's the non-negotiable. If I don't do that, my whole day will just be chaos and mess. But if I can do that, get that time with the Lord, it helps me to stay focused on what really matters, which is Him and His plan.
In your book, you talk about an all-out assault on masculinity throughout the media, throughout culture, and it's true that when we have boys in our house, we're not really raising little boys, we're raising future men. Can you just talk with us about this all-out assault? What is that looking like? How do we recognize it in the media and in the culture?
Well, I think you can see it as early as our boys' kindergarten years, where they start getting told that they need to sit still, if they want to act out and play with guns, that's bad. If they want to do dangerous things, climb trees, that's bad. If they are rambunctious, that's bad. You see from the statistics that huge numbers of kids, boys, are on medications to keep them under control in the classroom. And listen, I'm not saying the classrooms ought to be out of control. I get it. My mother was a school teacher. A lot of my family are public school teachers. I understand, love the teachers out there. But here's my point, is that we have a culture that as early as our boys' earliest years is telling them, don't be aggressive, don't be masculine, don't be boys. And then as they get older, that same culture tells them it's bad to be a man. By being a man, you make the world a worse place. That you're responsible for everything from systemic racism to climate change. That's the message men get sent, and it's relentless. And I think that we've got to send a different message, the true message, which is that God created men for a great purpose. We need good, strong men in this country.
Man, it just seems so obvious to me. Anyone should be able to detect that there is a sinister root to that kind of message. Why would you ever tell men not to be masculine, to be strong, to be builders, to be warriors, to be protectors, to be providers? I mean, that is clearly within the design of God for men. And I think people scratch their head and they say, is this some sort of a sinister plot in order to take down a nation? Why are people seemingly wanting to dismantle the family? What's your answer to questions like that?
Well, I do think that many people who now run our country, and by that I mean are in leadership positions in government and in entertainment and in business, they have this idea that the best thing would be for the American people just to let the experts, so-called, run our government, everybody else to sit down, be quiet, and to shut up. And men are a barrier to that. Men who are strong and independent, men who provide for their families, who provide for themselves, they're not going to let somebody else run their life. They're going to say, no, hold on. I want to have a say in my community. I want to have a say in my government. And that's what our government's built on, by the way. That's democracy. That's self-government. When you have strong, independent citizens who together share in the governing of the nation. But I think we've had now for generations elites in this country, liberal elites, who say, no, actually, we want to run the country. You just go over there, buy some stuff, be quiet, do as you're told, And part of that is getting the men to be quiet and shut up.
Isn't that interesting, though, the double standard? Because the elites who are telling the men to shut up, be quiet, and just do as you're told, they themselves will not sit down, shut up, be quiet, and do as they are told. But that is precisely the point, is because they're trying to turn you into little eunuchs and lemmings of the state so that you will just become their slaves. Isn't it interesting that slavery is very much alive and well in the minds of the progressives who just want everyone else to do what they are told as masters of the country, or hopefully, in their mind, the world?
Well, and you look at the ideology, the radical ideology now that we're having forced on us that says there's no such thing as male or female. I mean, the only way that that would ever take root in the country is if the good, honest, common sense people of this nation
just roll over.
Let it. If they just surrendered, let's roll over. And that's what the elites, and again, in business and in government and the media, that's what they want. And this is why, above all now, we need men and women of goodwill to stand up and say, wait a minute, no, that is not true. That is not reality, and I'm not going to stand for it.
That's right. And that's the inheritance that we have as people who live in the United States of America. As you said, we have to understand that. Wait a minute, whoa, wait a second. We got away from this authoritarianism, and we are now all about self-government under God, and government is here not as our leaders, but as our representatives, which makes us the leaders. We're the sovereigns. That's what citizen means. I learned that we're not subjects of a king in America. We're citizens, which means we're co-kings. But we've got to take on the responsibility of that role. And that requires strength. That requires courage. And that's what your book is all about.
Exactly. And this is why we need men who are going to have those character traits, those qualities of character. The old-fashioned word for that is virtues. You're going to have the virtues of strength and independence, and are going to be out there and go out there and be able to be husbands and fathers who provide, and be warriors who confront evil, and be builders who create things. This is what we need in this hour for our families and our communities, but also for our country. You know, we won't survive as a republic, which is a government by the people, for the people, unless the people are strong and independent. And we need men right now to do their part for that, and to stand up and to be good and strong.
So Josh, do you have any hope? I mean, when we've got movies coming out and we've got men in pink feather boas and man buns apologizing for their toxic masculinity and white fragility, what gives you hope that we can pull up out of this nosedive?
You know, I'll tell you what gives me hope are the men in my own life who changed my life just by their example and by their influence. You know, I think of my coaches, I think of my grandfather, I think of my own dad. When I see the difference that one man can make, one man who is faithful, one man who is strong, one man who gives his life, sacrifices his life for others, I think, now hold on, what if 10 men did that? What if 100 men did that? What if thousands of men did that? We can change the future of this country if the men of this country will stand up and take responsibility and be who God called them to be. So I think I've got tremendous hope because I know it's possible. I know the way that God has wired men, and I see, Kirk, all across the country, and I know you do too, thousands of men, tens of thousands of men who want to do this and are doing it. And so for those reasons, I think, boy, the future is bright, but we got a struggle in front of us right now, and we got to stand up and meet the challenge.
Absolutely. I love that command in Scripture, act like men. Act like men. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is not by looking to the culture, because the culture doesn't even know what a man is. We've got to look to Scripture and understand that men are not women, men are not animals, that men are creatures made in the image of God to act like men. And the Scriptures lay that out, and then you do such a beautiful job of unpacking that and applying it in this new book, Manhood. Josh, thanks so much for joining us and giving us these insights. God bless you.